customers in Dauphin and Perry counties are reporting having discolored water. Veolia Water now responding, saying it wasn't their fault. Let me explain. Maxine Rose is here in Susquehanna Township. Okay, so whose fault was it?
Yeah, well, Veolia Water has said in a statement to us and also online, insinuating that a fire company is responsible for using a fire hydrant, and that's what led to sediment going into the pipes and all of that. I actually have the fire chief here of the of that area, really, where that fire hydrant was. Chief Reist, tell me kind of what your reaction to all of that has been. What has been your response?
Well, we've had a lot of social media output from the community, and it's not unusual for us to open a hydrant when we're doing training and have a little bit of sediment come out. But even when we started the process, there was sediment all through the lines. The water that came out was just a different color altogether. Plus, even by their own admission, this is a problem that's been going on for quite some time.
Right, and actually we have a picture here.
Yes.
You showed us this.
So this is the water that we were using when we started the process, and you can see the discoloration in the water already. And while we're here, if you don't mind, let me show you this. So this is from the Beaufort Hunt region, which is on the opposite side of Lingostown Road. This is what a filter looks like new, going in a whole house filter. This is what it typically looks like after a month. Wow. And this is what it looks like after just 3 days.
Wow, so you're hearing from a ton of customers. You're a customer included. Right. So this has been a huge thing for this entire community, and you're just getting so much support, but also we're looking to help all of the people who are in this spot. So for those of you at home, if that looks familiar to you, you're encouraged to call the customer service line. We have all of that on our website, cbs21.com. We'll tell you much more about Veolia Water's response coming up at 6 o'clock.
Maxine, thanks so much. I actually have some pictures from viewers that you all sent in today via Facebook, and you live in that area, so you're sharing the pictures with what your water looks like, and yeah, not so good. Like Alana, this Barbie is never getting into that bathtub tonight. Do you see the color of the water? This is in Marysville. Then in Doug, it looks like he has 2 solo cups of beer, but it's water from the faucet. This is Susquehanna Township in Dauphin County, obviously. And then Doug actually showed us this paper towel, but he includes this. Paper towels for wipe up the sediment out of the tub on 6/23/25. This has been bad for years like this, with periodic rounds of brown water and sediment. So it's not his first rodeo with this. And then Doug, again, the towels, the stained towels. Pick includes more brown sediment on washcloths. So Doug is documenting, and you can too. We'd like you to share it on Facebook with us. This is our tag board right here, and you can actually answer the question or send us your pictures on Facebook right now. You might see them later on the news. So Veolia Water customers in Dauphin and Perry counties are reporting having discolored water. Veolia now responding, saying it wasn't a fault of its own. Maxine Rose joins me live now in Susquehanna Township. Okay, so who's to blame here?
Well, we know from a statement from Veolia Water, they're the ones, it's the one that is saying that a fire company had opened a fire hydrant. I'm actually standing in front of it right here, had opened that for training purposes, and then that had caused sediment to go through the pipes. As you know, that's what usually happens when they use these, but unfortunately, the fire company is now saying it just went on for way too long, that discoloration.
Right, so that training was actually done yesterday, but some people are reporting this has been going on for months, and so you actually got with the fire chief to ask him directly what's going on here.
Yes, exactly, and his response was obviously frustration, right? They're just doing what they always do, and they were saying, you know, to be blamed for such a, multi-county-wide issue and for something that's happened for so long. They want to really clear the air, or I guess I should say clear the water.
That's right, yes.
But what they're looking now to do is obviously spread the word and also try and help all of the affected customers. Actually, that chief we spoke to at 5 o'clock, he's a customer himself. So he said, you know, they've used the shower, they've seen that discoloration happen, and you know, everybody's just frustrated right now.
All right, Maxine, we're out of time. Really quick, I just want to say to the viewers, Maxine has reported that you should run the water until it is clear, and because that will cost you money, call customer service. You could be reimbursed. We'll see you next time.
Yes, exactly. We'll see you at 6.
Customers in Dauphin and Perry counties are reporting having discolored water, like the stuff you see behind me. Veolia Water is responding, saying it wasn't a fault of their own. But Maxine Rose is looking into it. She's in Susquehanna Township after speaking with those who've been affected and the water company about the issue.
Yeah, well, Veolia Water has said that a fire company using this fire hydrant next to me here off of Laurel Glen and Deer Path Roads here in Susquehanna Township, after a fire company used it just last night for training, that caused all of the multi-county-wide discoloration issues. But the fire company and the many Veolia customers who are dealing with all this have said that this started long before this issue.
As soon as they opened up the hydrant, there was already discoloration. It was a brown, almost a tea type color, and then at one point it even came black like coffee.
Chief Reist of Fire Company number 37 quickly putting out this statement online Wednesday, writing, quote, "For Veolia Water to cast blame on the fire department for a pre-existing condition is unwarranted and a blatant lie."
I just don't like it when the fault is placed where it doesn't belong.
Veolia has stated in multiple posts about previous incidents. The water company posted online that it had a pressure drop on one of its pipes on 6th Street in Susquehanna Township over the weekend, which led to a backup of sediment to flow through the pipes and therefore brown water. But it later said the problem had been resolved. However, customers say it clearly hasn't.
It's usually safe to bathe in, but you don't want to.
The problem is only the shower, because drinking water we buy other places.
Other customers in Marysville and Lower Paxton have also posted online about their experiences. But Veolia Water's response is that it is safe to drink or use, but that's after running the faucet for a few minutes until it runs clear.
I've done that at least 4 or 5 times in the last several weeks. I feel like there's just got to be something more to it than that. And it's very frustrating because my wife is pregnant. So that's a safety concern for me as well.
In a statement to CBS 21, a press officer said these issues are not isolated to certain neighborhoods, writing, quote, "There has been no pattern for us to follow. Our team is doing their best to respond to each customer as well as working to try to find a solution." Veolia Water says it is conducting a system-wide flushing operation, hoping that will correct the discoloration.
I also don't want to take away from the workers that are out in the field right now from Veolia that are trying to clear up this problem. And they're doing an outstanding job, and I want to put my hats off to them as well.
Now, Veolia Water has also just recently posted that they are continuing to flush out the system. They also say that they've been given, or some customers say that they've been given some credit because they've run their water for so long waiting for it to become clear. Now, if that is you at home, you're urged to call the customer service line so you can get that credit too. Reporting live in Susquehanna Township, I'm Maxine Rose, CBS 21 News.
Thanks, Maxine.